Hello. Today we're going to talk about spreadsheets, just some general things about spreadsheets. This is a spreadsheet, and on a spreadsheet we have these things that we call columns. If you want to highlight an entire column, you click on one of these letters above and the entire column will be highlighted. So this is column D. You can also click on a number on the side if you want to highlight an entire row. Now, each one of these individual rectangles here, they are called cells. These cells are referenced or named by the intersection of the column and row of that particular cell. So, for example, because this little highlighted cell is in column D and row 3, we would call this cell D3. Now, each of these cells you can type anything you want. You can type text. For example, you could type in the word cell. You can type in a number. So I could type in the number 45. You could also type in a formula. For example, if I wanted to find what 3 times 4 is, I can say equals 3. Oh, and we use the asterisk or shift 8 for multiplication. So 3 times 4. And in order to type in a function, you always have to type in an equal sign first. That will indicate to the program, in this case Excel, that you are going to put a function after that. So there I have equals 3 times 4, which, as you should all know, is 12. Now we're going to talk much more about functions in following videos. I'm going to go over a couple of more things with you right now. If you want to expand, in other words, make wider a column, what you do is you see the little cursor, it's this little fat plus sign, and then you move it up to the letters, and then you go in between 2 letters, and it turns into this kind of thin plus sign with arrows. When that happens, you click down on the mouse key, and then you can expand a column, or you can make a column narrower. Also, you can do the same thing for rows. If I go in between any 2 rows and I get this little thin plus sign with the arrows, I click and hold the mouse button down, and then I can make that a very wide row. Another thing that's very important is we will sometimes have multiple what we call sheets. So this in itself is a spreadsheet, and right now it's called sheet 1. If I want to change the name of it, in this little tab on the very bottom, I double click on that, and I could type in just general or whatever you want to call it. Now, if you want to add another sheet, which is a very common thing to do, especially when you're preparing for a test, you want all the functions you're going to use in the same workbook, and workbooks have a bunch of different sheets in them. So the first sheet I just have is general. The next one might be, I'll just call it measures of center. Okay, So what we just went over was some terminology. We have columns, we have rows, and we have cells. Right here, for example, I have highlighted cell G13. We also have these little tabs on the bottom where you can continue to add sheets by pressing on this plus sign, and also how to change the name of those sheets. This concludes this lesson. And again, we're going to talk about more about Excel spreadsheet functions in the next video, and how we reference different cells, and so on and so on. Have a great day.